The latest in rally news from here and around the world. R2G Rally Radio.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to R2G Rally Radio. For your first update for the afternoon, we have Lani, Chris and Lance with us. We'll chuck it over to Lani. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Booker. Yes, welcome back to Rally Radio, covering the DAYBREAKER Rally, powered by Brian Green Properties. It's been a fantastic morning of action, and gosh, even though it's only just gone 1 p.m, it has felt like a marathon because we are actually up to stage 8 shortly. So it's been a huge effort from the team to get this far. And in fact, I know the people sitting across from me in Rally Control have been here since 2:30 a.m. this morning. So it's been a big day and there's a lot of updates. Lance is joining us from the end of special stage 8. Lance, what are the conditions like at that stage?
Well, I'm just thinking of 2:30. That's a dentist's favourite time of day. Did you know that?
No.
Groan. Oh, you didn't get it? 2:30.
Right. We tried not to.
Okay, fair enough. Out here at the end of special stage 8 Peep-O-Day with my friends the 𝗥𝗱𝗶𝗆𝗍 dancing through the trees, and it is mizzly. It's actually starting to, I wouldn't say clear, but ease. When I got here half an hour ago, it was relatively dry as such, but then it started to come down and got a little bit heavier, and it's just easing a bit now. So we're hearing from the tracking that Hayden Paddon's obviously well through the stage, that times aren't quite the same as they were this morning, even though the road is swept, obviously. But that rain that's come through in between times has changed conditions somewhat. So we are here to get the latest from the drivers on their perspective, what it's like behind the wheel coming through the stage. Actually, the weather's to a point where I might just take my rain hood off. There we go. We're braving the elements. It is calm. There's barely a breath of wind. It's relatively mild. It is springtime. We're on the cusp of. And obviously at this stage of the rally, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we're back in the Manawatu district for, well, how many hours? I was going to say, trying to count down how many stages we've got left to go. I'll leave that to you guys.
Thanks, Lance. Yes, we have this 37-kilometre test of Peep-O-Day 2. It is a repeat stage. The teams then head to special stage 9, 𝗥𝗱𝗶𝗆𝗍 2, which is also the New Zealand Rally Championship power stage, where there are extra points up for grabs for the fastest driver, and that is a 7.8-kilometre test. We then head into the last road stage, special stage 10, which is another 30k test. So really keeping those crews on their toes as they head into the last round of stages for the afternoon. And then at this stage, there will be the super special here in Palmerston North at the Essential Energy Trust Arena to finish out the rally. Chris, what are those split times looking like in special stage 8?
Okay, Lani, yeah, just picking it up for you now. So Hayden is just about with you guys, with you, Lance. He's currently sitting at the 30k mark, so he's got about 7k to run. His split times are marginally down on slower than what he did this morning, about 7 seconds down, I think it was, on what he did this morning, and then 5 seconds down at the 9k split point, and 10 seconds down at the 20k point. I'll just have a quick look back at what he did this morning at the 27k marker. Yeah, just under 18 minutes there, and he is now, yeah, he's again maintained that pace at the 27k marker. So you're expecting a time about 10-15 seconds slower than what he did this morning. We've got second quickest through to that 26k split point is Ben Hunt, but 45 seconds down on Hayden, and 𝗥𝗱𝗍𝗆𝗆 a minute 10 down. All cars so far, or I'm just checking it through, yeah, no signs of any hazard warning so far from cars being delayed in the stage. So we've got Zeal Jones. He was 10 seconds up on 𝗥𝗱𝗍𝗆𝗆𝗆 at the 20k marker, and he in turn was 7 seconds down, 6.5 seconds down on Ben Hunt's time. Stuart Reid, a minute 25 down, and having a great battle with Andrew Graves, who was actually quicker, the Evo 3 Mitsubishi, quicker than its Mitsubishi stablemate, the AP4 Mirage, by 0.7 of a second at the 20k marker. So these guys certainly going hammer and tongs for those upper top 10 places. But by rights, we should have Hayden tracking through very shortly, and Lance will be able to have a chat to him.
Yes, we can hear him in the background, but I've been able to hear him in the background for a while. So it just sort of goes to show where we are located. We're in the shadow of a ridge line, but also on you can see the ridge line working its way around. And Peep-O-Day Road is plonked right directly on top. The vista out to the north and east is vast, although interrupted by the clouds. Probably got 3 meters visibility, and I think that could be a power pylon out there. Could be. There's a man-made structure way out yonder. But again, as you point out, you're expecting Hayden. I can hear Hayden, but he's not here.
Interesting to hear that all of the crews are losing quite significant times through that stage. So the conditions must have deteriorated as per kind of predicted. Hayden certainly seemed to think it was going to be a tough second run, and that seems to be shown up in the results, Chris.
Yeah, and I can mention, looks like Tim Smith has come unstuck, pulled up at 13.6k in the H6 Magnum Impreza. Has signalled okay, so the humans are all right, but obviously something not quite right with the car. Currently stopped at 13.6k into the stage. That's Tim Smith, car 13.
Oh, well, let's just hope that 323 steering wheel, the Momo steering wheel he's got in there that was ex-Neil Allport, hasn't decided to go stage left when he should be going stage right.
Yeah, let's hope not. And I can see also getting indications that 14, that's James McDonald is maybe catching Jay Pittams in the stage as well, with the push to pass being activated. So McDonald, of course, had originally started ahead of Jay Pittams, but he's was later to control earlier this morning, so he's been starting behind him. So he's reeled him inside. Where are we? Pittams inside 18k, so less than halfway through the stage. Pittams has caught up. Sorry, McDonald has caught up to Pittams. So maybe Pittams is having a bit of a problem getting his way through that stage as well too. So imminent, I would say, Lance. You must have Hayden very, very close.
Yes, he's just been through the flying finish, and he's just winding his way down to the stop control here. Now, where I'm located is actually a further 80, 90 metres up the road, just to ensure quality internet connectivity to actually park and have satellite coverage where the stop control is actually underneath some pine trees and in the shadow of pretty much everything. So yeah, we're just going to see who comes up, and we'll stop here, and Hayden should be through in maybe 15, 20 seconds time.
And that's pretty much the stage time difference between the two passes, Lance. According to us, he's done a 12:52.8, which makes it 13.5 seconds slower than he did this morning. So things sped up in that latter part of the stage, I would suggest.
Okay, thank you. We've got Hayden just pulling up here now. We'll have a very quick chat to Hayden. Hayden, well, he's jumping out of the car. Obviously slippery in there.
Sorry?
Slippery in there.
Yeah, it's definitely very slippery with all the cars over it, but it's as expected. So, yeah, it's just a cool stage and just enjoying it. And obviously, erring a bit on the side of caution at the moment, so just trying to keep everything neat and tidy.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. So that's the very simple update from Hayden. I was wondering if you'd never say he's going to take it easy, but he was actually adding a little bit of conservative into his pace. And the crew are just out of the car, going from stage mode into touring mode. Headsets out of the back, and Jared's about to get back into the car. Actually, that was a point noticed this morning for drivers wearing glasses. The fogging up of the glasses was an issue, the windscreen not so much.
Interesting. Rally is definitely an endurance race, isn't it? And all of those things that could trip you up along the way. We should soon be having our next car through, Chris.
Yep, Brendan Reeves on approach. From the splits I've got here, he was a minute 7 down on Hayden in the at that 27k marker, whereas in the previous run of the stage, he was 1:43 down. So hopefully he's feeling better and he's a bit more on the pace. He's pulled up something like half a minute faster to Hayden relative to what he was in the first pass this morning.
Okay, well, that'll be a solid question to ask Mr. Reeves when he gets here. He's just coming up to the stop control now, so it'll probably be a good half minute after that. And next car, actually, that was a bit wide. It was, wasn't it? Block Marshal here concurring that. Yeah, that's Ben. Ben's on a flyer.
I hear the locals up there, Lance, are keeping you busy as well.
Yes, there's a few Palmers North business representatives were here at the road close point with their little barbecue out. It's just great to see rally boys from back in the day. We'll see if Mr. Reeves will stop to have a very quick chat. He is. That's superb. Thank you, Brendo. Just wait to get the door open. Just getting the cap on. Here we go. Brendo, much better run through that time.
Yeah, we put the softer sway bars in. It certainly helped. I can actually really commit to the entries of the corners. So yeah, not sure about the time, but it felt really good.
Okay, well, it was good.
Okay, great.
Keep that up.
Hopefully we can catch Hammer.
Well, we'll find out. Thank you. So that's him on his way. And, I see what he's doing. Ben had his... I thought he had his arm out trying to flag me down, but no, he had his 𝗥𝗱𝗶𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆 He stopped up at the top of the road. That's fine.
Yeah, Ben was half a minute faster to that split point, and his stage time accordingly is under the 27 minutes. He's gone 20 seconds faster overall in that stage than he did the first time this morning.
Okay. We might just have to let Ben keep going, as we've got Emma coming up to the controller here. He's a little bit out of reach. He's gone a bit too far up the road for us.
However, Ben was still a minute 7 down on Hayden's easing off pace.
Okay, all right, well. And the block marshal up the top, he is a long-time rally man, Timo Lloyd. Spent a lot of time in the co-driver's seat over the years, including Daybreaker wins. And we have Emma Gilmore coming up. Let's just see if we can flag her down.
Timo's the guy that looks after a lot of people's safety building roll cages, doesn't he, Lance?
That's it. He's the man that puts bars in cars, as you would say. Emma, did you enjoy that second run?
Yeah, it was slippery, but no, I felt like I drove it better, so yeah, so I enjoyed it.
Okay, and as far as it's just a run to the finish from here?
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of kilometres, so yeah, just keep learning. It's challenging, it's quite changeable, the conditions, so yeah, but no, it's good. Car's good.
Excellent, thank you. All right, trying to keep it short, sharp and sweet.
Yeah, there'll be some hot breaks in there, Lance.
Sorry, say that again, Chris?
I was just saying there'll be some hot breaks in there, or am I misreading the nature of the road?
Well, that's Emma's style. That's been a little learning experience. That Emma is someone that uses brakes different to others. We've got 𝗥𝗱𝗶𝗆 Jones here. 𝗥𝗱𝗆𝗆, the car's nice and dirty. You've obviously been having a good time cleaning gutters.
Yeah, no, that was actually really fun. It was actually more grippy than the first run, and some of the ruts were actually helping out. But yeah, still a bit hard to steer, which is good in a way, and probably should have pulled the handbrake a couple more times. But no, it was really clean run, and I really like that.
Excellent, thank you. All right, that's good feedback from 𝗥𝗱𝗆𝗆, who's doing it for pops.
Yeah,
to the signage on the back of the car. That's right. Yes, we remember that story, don't we?
Zeal has taken 18 seconds more out of Emma on that stage, so he's now a solid third, out to 52-second advantage over her. And following up on Brendo's comments, He managed to take 5 seconds out of Emma in that stage with that new setup on his car. So he is now just 12.9 behind Emma with these last 2 stages to go. And of course, one of them is 𝗥𝗱𝗶𝗆, the power stage, only 7k long. And the last one, of course, is that infamous, iconic, whatever you want to call it, notorious Ridge Road stage at 31k, which has decided many a New Zealand Rally Championship in years gone by. So still plenty to play for.
Yes, absolutely. And you're right there, the comment of Ridge Road. There's been a lot of championships lost on that piece of road. So it's going to be one that you would expect the current generation to be paying heed to, particularly Mr. McAndrew's area. We've got Hayden McKenzie. Hopefully,
Stuart Reid stopped, Lance. Stuart Reid has stopped in the stage at 34k.
Okay.
Mechanical by the look of it. So it'll be a gap after you've had Hayden through.
All right, thank you. We'll have a quick word with Hayden. Hayden, happy with that second time through?
Far better second pass, I think. Yeah, you're feeling a lot better. No fences in this one.
So did you make any setup changes to the car between them?
No, look, we've probably more time than need in the car at the moment, so I'm just driving what I've got. Probably things we need to change, but yeah, no, we've got a good base setup.
Okay, thank you very much. So I guess that's the result. Move on. That's the result of quality stage kilometres, actually getting confidence with the car, with the notes, with all the moving parts.
Yes,
right, so
thank you, Lance.
Reid,
It looks like looks like the rain is coming in. There is a heavy front coming from the west. So I know you reported that the rain was not as bad as earlier out there, but it looks like it could come to bite us for that infamous special stage 10 later this afternoon.
Yes, interesting. It is actually getting a little bit damp again here now. It's on and off. The weather is what the weather is. What it's going to do to the conditions at the super special stage, I guess we'll find out as we get closer to green time there. Here we go. We're getting a Timo, we're getting a running weather report from the location.
Yeah, as soon as I get coverage.
Yeah, as soon as we get coverage. I can give you Starlink. Here we go. Yes, as you were saying, Lani, you can see there's actually some murk coming from the west, almost over the top of us. But again, the weather will be what the weather will be.
Yes.
That's
looks like Andrew Graves has just finished the stage. But it looks like he's lost a little bit of time there, Chris.
Sorry, Matt, I was just studying up. Who were you referring to there?
Andrew Graves.
Yes, indeed. Yes, I see that. I'll just get onto the split times for you there. He's better off than Stuart Reid, who stopped in the stage.
Andrew, another blinder.
Yeah, no, that stage was cool. It was really hard to pick the grip levels most of the time, but yeah, bits of it were better and bits of it were worse. So really enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm pleased to get on to the next one, to be honest.
You look like you've hardly broken a sweat.
Oh shit, no, I'm sweating like a rapist on the run.
We might just let that go right there. Thank you very much. Well done. Next thing he'll be reporting his ankle bracelet's going off.
That's what happens when you come. That's what happens when you come from Southland.
29-year-old car.
Yeah, there we go. Timo with all the facts and figures, a 29-year-old car. It really is amazing. Evo 3 was again one of those special cars back in the day, but to consider what it's capable of all these years later in amongst the modern machinery. And
Caleb
given that
McDonald
this is Andrew's first, given that this is Andrew's first time driving the Daybreaker Rally, I'm quite impressed by his performance because he's still sitting really inside that top 10.
Yes, he's doing more than keeping the locals honest, that's for sure. And Caleb's got full lights on, which is interesting to be running that this time of day. I'm going to take my rain hood off. I know what'll happen if I do. He's just quietly coasting up the road. Very quietly coasting up the road. He's in no hurry at all. And well and truly say I'm blinded by the light. Caleb, you've got 4 lights on. Is that helping you pave the way?
I don't know if it's helping or hindering or what's going on. We're just, feeling our way through. She's pretty muddy and slippery in places there, so I don't know. Why not try everything you got, see if it helps. So, good fun.
Along 37k.
It is a wee bit. We're puffed.
Yeah, you look at. You can't take a break. Thank you. A marked difference there. I did actually make the comment that Andrew Graves looked like he had barely broken a sweat versus Caleb, who really does look like he's done a serious workout.
37 k's is a lot of kilometres to drive, and the concentration that was required would be quite intense, I would imagine, especially given how those grip levels are changing. A lot of the drivers are talking about how it's slippery in some parts but really grippy in other parts, and I'm sure that's adding an extra layer of physicality to throwing those cars around those corners. Any updates on these split times, Chris?
Nothing significant. Interesting though, with your comment about Andrew Graves, had he had a slow time, well, he still took 30 seconds out of Caleb McDonald. So I think it just shows you the difference in the pace of the AP4 cars versus the shall we say the older spec Cat 5s. So there's quite a difference there. Even Hayden McKenzie, who's running for getting mileage, if you like, and just getting used to being back in the car, was on the coattails of the other AP4 cars, and then you've got a half-minute gap to Andrew Graves, who is sitting right behind, is actually sitting ahead of Hayden McKenzie in the overall classification. So, again, we've got James McDonald through now in his H6. He's come through, as we indicated, with the push-to-pass being used ahead of 𝗥𝗱𝗶𝗆𝗆𝗔. Pittams, I think, will be pretty close. Yeah, he's in the final couple of Ks of the stage, so he'll be with you shortly, Lance, as well.
Okay, it's James just showing up. You've had an overtake manoeuvre in there, so it wasn't had a good stage.
Yeah, I think that one started to come to us a bit, so yeah, definitely started to gel, and I think we changed our driving style a bit, and sort of had to keep it in the ruts to get a bit more grip, and I think it worked for us.
I think it certainly did. Thank you very much. We'll let you carry on. And the man, Jay Pittams himself, see if he'll come in for a quick chat. Jay, that's not quite the happy face that we're used to seeing. I can see why.
Stuck in third.
Stuck in third.
Yeah.
Rather third than fifth, but anyway, you're stuck in again. Now, are you going to be able to get up the hill all right? Let's find out.
You can push, buddy, you can push.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll let you do that. I'll just let Jay move off. And I don't know if you did catch up what's happened there. The the gear selector is very floppy. He is stuck in third gear.
So you'd say the gear lever's broken, Lance?
Yes, it's come off at the mount.
All right.
So, yes, he is stuck in third gear. And I've just stopped up at the top of the hill. That was a very long face. I was actually wondering whether I was going to get any words at all from him. But good to know what was actually going on.
You got politer words than you got out of Andrew Graves.
Yes, indeed. But still not overly surprised at the words from Andrew Graves. Mr. Macquarie, apologies. We're on the right side of the car this time.
Yes, we are.
What do you rate that second time through?
Oh, look, I think I found my mojo in that one. Yeah, it flowed well. Just loved it. I was able to attack a certain amount of it. Some of it I fell off a little bit, but that's the best one for me so far today.
So, is the case you'd like to go and have another go at it?
Today.
Why not?
We'll be back. We'll be back for Bay of Plenty.
Okay, excellent. Good work. Keep it on the road. See you at the end of 10. So, yes, you caught me out. He's a left drive car. And who have we got at the stock control now? It's obscured by the finish control team. But we're going to have a stack of two cars. That's a unhappy sounding Evo 7 of Jeff Argyle coming in behind. So who was in front of Jeff? And I'm going to have to put the rain hood back up.
I've got Dylan Thompson running in front of 𝗥𝗱𝗶𝗆𝗆𝗆.
Yes, you'd be right too. Yes,
In
yes,
fact, I've got Dylan Thompson should be on approach. I've got 19 Jack Stokes approaching where Stuart Reid is stopped next, and then 𝗥𝗱𝗶𝗆𝗆𝗆 recorded, and although that may be slightly out of date as to whether 𝗥𝗱𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆 has been passed by Jack Stokes or not.
Okay, all right. Dylan, second run through, you're happy with that?
Yeah, the start of that stage for the first sort of half of it was a lot drier, and then in the middle section it was wet again, and it's sort of good at the end, but Tim Smith's gone off and just sort of slipped off the road. It looks like a nothing thing, he's sort of just fallen off and it's just stuck off the road, so that's unfortunate.
It is. Thank you for the update on that. See you later on. All right, so Mr. Argyle's just been through. He's actually stopped up at the top here. While there's a lot of steam coming from the rear of the car, I just have to say that it probably is brakes and moisture in and around the brakes. Jeff's getting out, having a bit of a look. Actually, he's steaming hot as it is at the same time. So there's an update on Tim Smith and what's happened there.
Lance, you might like to ask if anybody's got anything to report on Stuart Reid as well. The AP4 Mitsubishi just up the road from the finish.
Yes, absolutely. We will do that. So I'm guessing that's Jack Stokes coming through now.
Would be, I'd say.
Jeff Argyle has a spare tyre out. Tyres actually looked all right. I couldn't see a flat as he was coming through.
We've now got Amy Keeley's short-lived rejoin. She has now stopped, pulled up 9K into the stage. So unfortunately, Amy having a pretty fraught day today as well in the Magnum H6.
Yes, that's unfortunate. I know she was looking forward to doing the Daybreaker. Last spoke to her at Canterbury Rally.
Well, particularly when her grandfather was shown in a flashback photo on the start ramp at about 1990 in a VR4, I think, Lance. Would I be right there?
Oh, that'd be right. I was just going to say, it would have been the VR4. So what year would that have been? It would have been 91 at the latest.
Yeah, I think it said 1990 was the caption, mate. Murray Chandler sitting in the driver's seat, of course.
Yes, it was wonderful to see him in the service park, tie happy today. Let's see if we can get the attention of.
I thought he only got up early. I thought these days he only got up early to play golf, not to go rally.
Yes, I think when there's family involved, he makes a special exception. Jack, Stu Reid, you've obviously seen him in there.
Yeah, it was about probably 3 k's from the end, just pulled over. So I don't know what's happened.
You've had a clean run.
Yep, no, it was all good. Yeah, long way, but good fun.
You got a big smile now.
Yeah, it's hard not to smile when you're doing that.
Keep that up. Well, it's great to hear for Jack that he is having a lot of fun in that stage.
Yeah, well, at least one half of the Stokes Motorsport team's having a good day.
Yes, absolutely. So there's the report on Stu Reid.
Thank you.
Just stopped on the side of the road. And,
it's a bit unfortunate for poor Robbie Stokes that he has had those electrical gremlins today, but I hear that he may be trying to get the car ready for the power stage. Whether or not they can get it back out there is yet to be determined, but Chris, do you think it would be worth it for him to try and get those extra points if he can?
Oh, absolutely, because you never know what lies ahead on the next 2 rounds. You perish the thought. You don't wish ill of anybody, but he's had bad luck this weekend. There's nothing to say that Ben or, goodness me, the ultra perfect Padden has something that causes issues. Hayden, one of his last DNFs was at 𝗥𝗱𝗶𝗆𝗆𝗆. We fresh back from winning the WRC in 2016, and the little Hyundai let them down on the first day of 𝗥𝗱𝗆𝗆𝗆. So it's not beyond possibilities. The cars all have to keep going from the start ramp through the stage into the finish ramp to get the points. So, never say never, I would suggest, and anything he can possibly get, a bit like Jack Hawkswood did down at South Canterbury. He was got beached off the road in that 𝗥𝗱𝗶𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆 forest and then came back out and recorded second fastest on the power stage. So, anything's worth a go. You never know what the final, everything might be in the final wash in November at 𝗥𝗱𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆.
Yes, wise words, Chris, very wise words. And I guess the team will be very mindful of that. All seems lost in the moment, but in the bigger picture, there is still so much more left. And looks like the Argyle car has one of the wheel is actually split again. So he did have a split rim earlier. Surely it can't be a second. Surely it's being inspected by Timo Lloyd, so he'll be able to give us some expert metallurgist.
It's a Marcus Gronholm throwback, Lance, isn't it?
Well, given what's happening with the weather now, a meteorologist would be useful, but I can tell you it is getting rather damp.
But if you ask Marcus, he'll definitely tell you he is not a meteorologist, or a meteorologist, I think is how it came out on the day. But that's going back a few years, isn't it?
Surely is.
Goodness me, look at that. All right, we have... Just see, we're going to stop. Yes, we are. Fabulous. Bryn Jones pulling up. Thank you, Bryn. Oh, that looks like a sigh of relief.
That's hard work in there. We were pushing quite hard, and it's great. It's great to be at the end of that one.
Yeah, I think you are quietly relieved. But everything okay?
I think so. Yeah, just double check everything on the road section, and yeah, it should be right.
Charge on. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, guys. All right. Have we got time to? We have. Whose Eva was that coming into control? I was just going to see if we could sneak up to. Oh no, we're in Brim's in reverse. So he's probably trying to get a stone out of the brakes. No, it's still there. This will be Mr. 𝗥𝗱𝗶𝗆cie. Tim, happy with that repeat effort?
Yeah, it was a bit better, that one. A bit tidier. We had new tyres for that one too, so it felt a bit nice.
That'll always help, especially in the... would you call it slippery compared to the first one?
I don't know. We had new tyres. It probably felt better. But, yeah, well, I know we just struggle on those uphill hairpins, but you're just sort of waiting until you get going. But apart from that, it was good.
Excellent. All right. Thank you very much. Oh, yes. New tyres have just dug the top of the road surface off. Mr. Menzies, we'll try and have a quick chat. Mr. Menzies, happy with that repeat run through?
Oh, we got through, so that's the main thing. She's pretty greasy in there now. She's got all bog track now, pretty slippery, but no, we got through, so that's the main thing, yeah.
We got the perfect car for conditions like that.
Yeah, just a Bessie Ferguson, mate, full drive.
Good on you.
That's
good. All right,
the one thing I'm noticing, Lance, and
has actually departed the scene. So, yes, back to you. What have you got to report?
I'm hearing from a lot of the drivers that it's hard but fun in there, that they're all really enjoying it. What do their faces tell when they're coming up to talk to you? Do they look like they're enjoying the ride?
Well, it's actually been very variable, and it's a clue as to what that question's going to be based on the look on their face. And that's with Jay Pittams. I really thought that was going to get a bit of a serve or a wind up because he was not happy. And then, like with Bryn was an interesting one. It was just you could read the expression as a massive sigh of relief. So, well, what's going on there? He certainly looked like he was fatigued, so he'd been putting some effort in, but it was just that look of relief. And again, with others, just not the level of excitement that I've seen at Southern Lights, because there's still a long way to go, and it has been a long day for them. They're not used to these sorts of hours, so I guess they're pacing themselves and leaving the emotion for later.
Yes, that would make sense, and it is a mammoth effort. And they still have nearly 40 competitive kilometres to go after this. So they're certainly not out of the woods yet by any account. And I heard you and Chris talking about Ridge Road earlier. Is there any standout memories for you, Lance, from that stage 10, the last stage before they come back into the city?
There's actually a number. Trying to think, I've been through a handful of times as tailing Charlie, and some of the cars we've come across. Hello, Mr. Thurston, dealer principal for Manawatu Nissan, Cupra, all sorts of other brands in Palmerston North. And getting back on topic, seeing 𝗥𝗱𝗶𝗆𝗆. See you, Peter. Peep-O-Day Motors, Palmerston North. 𝗥𝗱𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆, Reece Jones, he crashed heavily in there one year. Chris, you can probably fill in the blanks on a number of others.
Didn't Westy throw it away one year as well? Chris West? Roll over in there too, I think. I can remember being at the end of the stage in the middle of the night when it travelled to the north, and again just the expectation of cars arriving, and somebody had started 3 or 4 on the road, and they were the first one to come out because there's been so much carnage on the leading drivers in the dark. You know, the classic midnight daybreaker start, and the likes of Andrew Grant and Joe McAndrew and those guys were all behind the wheel in those days, and the rally was mayhem, was manic right from the first stop control.
Yes, actually, you're tripping a little memory. I tripped down memory lane, Chris, on that one. I was actually just thinking of another Westy incident, and it was the start of Peep-O-Day. It was in the Peep-O-Day section many years ago. There was a corner that was going to be named after him, but to be fair, there were a few like that. Let's just see if we can have a quick chat to Nelson Law. Yes, there we go. We knew there was going to be a smile. Happy with that second run?
Well, you know, we were happy that we were going to do the same stage twice. But yeah, that was very, very hard. Happy to get through it. Happy to get the car safe, and no punctures this time around. So very good.
So that answers the question. What happened first run? It was a puncture.
Yes, we had a puncture on the rear left tire, and yeah, unfortunately we had to change it up here. So it's all good. That's part of the game, and we're just happy to still be in the race.
Excellent. Okay, get that momentum up. See you the next one. Thank you. All right, that's the good news. And Pierre Henry, is it? No. Julian Linglet. Okay, he's just going through. That's fine. We'll see if we can have a quick chat here to Timo. We've got a moment. Timo.
Carl Robinson next. And I just mentioned, Lance, this power stage has just started.
Okay, all right, thank you. Timo, give us your expert opinion on the piece of metal in your hand.
Well, it's worn out. It's worn out well and truly.
What happened to the other half?
Well, it's in the boot. So the old Stones got in and buggered the inside of the rim, and she's split in half. She's become a two-piece.
Now, I understand that happened earlier in the day. So was this a repeat effort by Mr. Argyle?
Oh, no, there's another one sitting up there. Maybe just all of his gear is no longer serviceable.
We might just let that topic go for a moment. Yes.
I'm sure he's not tuned in.
No, I can confirm Jeff isn't tuned in. It hasn't been his best day, but interesting. You've got to assume that those wheels are very worn out, and it's taken a stone in the caliper, and it's very quickly parted the rim into two.
Lance, that reminds me what happened to Richard and Sarah Mason on a Wairarapa rally a few years ago. They actually rolled the car, the yellow WRX sedan.
Yes. Well, Chris, you'll be pleased to hear we got Shane Merlin. That'll stoke even more memories. Shane, happy with that second run?
Yeah, no, it all went well, but it's a lot slipperier. It's getting cut up quite badly now. So yeah,
you're seeing some clay.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Okay, thank you very much. So, Chris, I'm sure you've got lots of great memories of Shane Merlin back in the day, but wonderful to see him back out in the Daybreaker and the car going very well.
Very much. Is he lining up for Silver Fern later on in the year?
It would be unusual if he didn't.
Yeah.
It would be a great question to ask him, but
it'd be quite a year for him, because didn't he do that the big rally that Brent Taylor and Chris Ramsey did, the one from Peking to Paris earlier on? Was he part of that group as well?
I understand, prove me wrong, but I understand he was part of that group too. That's just what he does with his days, isn't it? Is tours the world doing endurance rally events.
Yep.
All right, and we have a Fiesta. We got a Fiesta rocking on in.
Dave Strong, maybe?
Ooh, is it?
Green?
Yeah, it does have, there's touches of green. It's obscured at the finish control.
Be pretty noisy, probably.
Hidden behind a vehicle and some trees. Well, not so much these days. No, you can probably hear the bellbird. Oh, there's 2 bellbirds right up beside me. Let's see if we can have a quick chat to Mr. Strong, Rob Scott, and alongside. Dave, happy with that second run?
It was actually better at the start, but it swept a lot of the shit off. But then it was a little bit drizzly at the end. So, no, it was better than this morning. You know, I sort of figured out a style, how to drive that sort of stuff. But, yeah, it's okay.
But the smile says it's still all there.
Oh, if you want to, yeah, I'm having fun. So that's good.
That's the main thing. Excellent. Thank you very much. And yeah, sorry, Chris, distracted by those bellbirds that were just up beside me in the lucerne tree. They've since vacated the premises. Oh no, he's still there.
Thank
Surrounded
you,
by
Ruth Findfest. Just mentioning that Hayden Padden has just finished the power stage, a new record time. He's gone 10 seconds faster on a 7.8k stage than he did last year, and now average speed there of 88.53 kilometres an hour. So, and that was actually, funnily enough, it was still 1.5 seconds slower than he did this morning. So, is there a bit of treachery in there for people going for it in the power stage? So perhaps we say watch this space to see for any of the following cars to make sure they all negotiate their way through the power stage successfully and safely.
Yes, indeed. Even though it's a short stage, you've got to wonder what the conditions are like in there. It doesn't take much rain to make a bit of a difference. And, Bruce having a bit of a go. Bruce, happy with that second run through?
Yeah, she was challenged, but yeah, no, it was cool.
Starting to feel like it's a daybreaker again?
Yeah. I need a nap.
Good on you. See if you can fit that in before the next stage. All right, yeah, great to see Bruce out on these roads again. Obviously, it's a different landscape for him compared to what he used to do back in the day, but it's about having fun, living your best life, as I keep saying.
He'd be feeling a bit disillusioned, disappointed in all his fellow car dealer mates that didn't stay and watch him, wouldn't they, Lance? They all, from the sound of it, they all walked out before he turned up.
Yes, you're right. Yes, Roscoe, yeah, Zippo. There's a lot of O's, a lot of nicknames. I think it's actually part of the Manawatu heritage. You've got to have a nickname. But yes, they did walk out just a few minutes before, for no other reason than they'll be needing to be somewhere else.
Wasn't because the blow-up doll went flat, was it?
Yeah, the blow-up doll went flat a long time ago. Actually, when Timo walks back down this way, we're going to ask that question. Where is Doris? What's Doris doing?
Would you say perished would be an appropriate description, Lance?
Well, last time I saw Doris, she was very faded as well.
We've just got Ben Hunt's time through, and Mr. Padden driving at 7/10, 6/10, 5/10, whichever way you want to look at it, has taken 12 seconds out of Ben Hunt on that repeat of 𝗥𝗱𝗶𝗆 Road. So again, Brendan Reeves through next, just 0.4 of a second behind Ben Hunt. So those power stage points, Ben Hunt is currently squeaked into second place to get those 4 vital points. Emma's just through. She's 5 seconds down on Ben. So 𝗥𝗡𝗍𝗆 Jones, perhaps the only one that can possibly steal second place away from Ben Hunt. And as we were saying before, those precious 4 points that were dropping only 1 point to Hayden Padden in the power stage. Ben might well have achieved that objective despite his sore back.
Wow, interesting. And again, what an event. Not only from the overall perspective, but...
No. 𝗥𝗡𝗍𝗆's beaten him. 𝗥𝗍𝗆 Jones has headed off Ben Hunt by 1.8 seconds in the power stage. So that's good. That's significant come the end of the championship. So that relegates, that gives Padden 5, 𝗥𝗍𝗆 Jones 4, and Ben Hunt 3. So there you go. Kiss of death from the commentators.
Happy with that second run through?
Oh, not really. It was a lot greasier and pudgy everywhere, really. We got a really big rain shower through the middle, had the wipers on full noise and lots of brakes as well. So, but still here having fun.
And it appears there's not a mark on the car, so you've still got plenty in reserve.
You've obviously got your eyes closed. The front of it's looking a bit worse than here, but
it's grouse. It's all good.
They say Ribbon's racing.
Exactly. Right. No, it looks fine. Oh, tiny little bit out of the actually, we're going to let Mr. Harding go. The reason I say that is that probably won't hear what he's saying inside his beautiful RX-7.
Was that Cameron Ross you just spoke to, Lance?
Sorry, say that again, Lani?
Was that Cameron Ross that you talked to just before?
Yes, it was. Yes. I've got. We're going to go back to Timo. Yeah. Timo, the question is, where's Doris?
Oh, Doris. Talking about her the other night. Actually, she did end up in the skip. At some stage, you've got to grow up. I was told, but she was well past her best. I mean, she had a couple of. She could have gone in the Paralympics the way that she was heading. So no, she just had to go. But I don't think she'll come back. She actually got us in too much trouble towards the end.
Yeah, no doubt. And was there a little ceremony at the time, or was it all very undercover?
No, it was very undercover.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yes.
For a rainy day, it's supposed to be good luck.
Oh, okay. Right. All right. Yes. The stories get longer and longer. Actually, just out on the side of the area here, remembering the pioneers and early settlers of the Peep-O-Day district. It's amazing what you find out in the scenery. Now, cross back over to the other side. Have the impreza of one of the locals. Turning back to Mr. Stewart. Good afternoon. Happy with that second run?
Kind of. She was very slippery, so we were a bit all over the show, so not sure if we were quicker than the last week or not, but just glad to get out.
It looks like you got out in one piece.
Yeah, thank goodness the tree stayed away this time, so it was good.
Okay, thank you very much. Team, just with the bearing time in mind, we'll just have to wrap things up here and jettison on down to plan is to be at the end of special stage 10. So rather than push things time-wise, might make a move rather shortly and be there in plenty of time so we can do a proper job.
Yeah, I'll sign
Thanks,
up.
Lance. It was great to hear from the drivers, especially around how variable those conditions were. Such mixed reactions from all of those crews today. Thanks, Chris, for providing your updates. We will come back to you hopefully at 2 o'clock with a bit of a quick results update. And we will see you at Special Stage 10, Lance, their last test for the crews before they head back into the city.
That's the one. Yes, just see if Andrew Spire will stop. We might just let one more car round out the bulletin. That'll be the Datsun 180B of Jason Weld. He's just arrived at the stop control. So while he's here, and that car's still going, which is actually quite relevant because it's had I don't want to put the commentators' words in anyone's mouth.
Don't say it.
Getting to the finish has always been an objective, and he's well and truly on track for achieving that.
And he looked rather spectacular last night here at the Super Special. He was really throwing that car around the Central Energy Trust Arena.
Yes, as he does, as he's well known for. Well, he's got the window down, so he's prime ready. Jason Weld, you happy with that second run?
Yeah, it was pretty good actually. Oh, very slippery, a lot of mud there, and I had to be a little bit cautious, but we got through without too many troubles. Had a bit of trouble with my navigator though. I think there's been a few people being sick today, but certainly a bit off-putting, but we certainly worked through it all right, yeah.
Well, you just steer to the finish, you're doing just fabulously. Just keep that going.
Sounds good, man. Thank you.
Good on you. Thank you very much. Yes, poor Jeremy Sinclair his co-driver has a bag with liquid contents in it.
Oh dear. You know that you've been pushing the limits when your co-driver struggles to keep things inside. Thanks, Lance, for the coverage this afternoon. We will catch you next at Special Stage 10, and we will sign off, I suppose, by covering off some quick results from Special Stage 9. As Chris Grant from chrissport.co.nz mentioned before, Special Stage 9 is a power stage. Hayden Paddon has absolutely blitzed the field in that power stage, but coming in second is the young gun 𝗥𝗱𝗶𝗆 in second place there in his 𝗥𝗘𝗣𝗆𝗆. He has pipped Ben Hunt for that second position by 1.8 seconds. So Ben Hunt in third there. And fourth was Brendan Reeves, just 0.4 seconds behind Ben Hunt. So actually only 2.2 seconds between second and fourth there in that power stage. Rounding out the top five in the power stage is Emma Gilmore taking home 1 point. She has 4.8 seconds down on Brendan Reeves in fourth. So overall, what that means on the overall leaderboard heading into the test, the 30.9 kilometre stage at Ridge Road, before cars come into Palmerston North at the Central Energy Trust Arena. The results are Hayden Paddon in first, 5 minutes ahead of Ben Hunt in his 𝗥𝗱𝗆𝗄𝗏 Rally 2 Evo there. Currently sitting in third, and potentially his best career result to date, is 𝗥𝗱𝗍𝗆, 53.4 seconds down on Ben Hunt there. Sitting in fourth is Emma Gilmore in her Citroen C3. She is 58.9 seconds down on 𝗥𝗱𝗆. So 𝗥𝗱𝗆 has really pulled out that lead on Emma there. Sitting in fifth is Brendan Reeves, but he is within cooey of Emma, only 8.1 seconds down. So it will be interesting to see if Brendan can get Emma for fourth in the last couple of stages here today. Rounding out the top 10 is Andrew Graves in sixth, Hayden McKenzie in seventh, Caleb McDonald in eighth, James McDonald in ninth, and Jay Pittham's currently in 10th. So that concludes our coverage here live from Special Stage 6 Peep-O-Day, and covering off the power stage results there at Special Stage 7 Macbeth. The crews now head to Special Stage 10 Ridge Road, and you heard plenty of stories from Lance Hasty and Chris Grant there of years gone by. It's certainly a tricky piece of road, and we'll expect to see some action in that stage as well. Join us again for coverage from the end of Special Stage 10 in about an hour's time. Thanks, everybody. Back to you, Booker.
Thank you, Lonnie. It was very interesting listening to those guys chat about the old days, but we hope to hear you back in an hour's time for the R2G Rally Radio. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you shortly. Thank you.
Tune in again at the top of the next hour, and for more news, check our Facebook page, Rally Race Group, or website for past news bulletins.